Hi YouTube, my name's Sean Connors and this is Outsiders, and this is another DM's Tips programme. Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about foreshadowing. Now this is a technique that's used by lots of different people. Writers do it, people who write films do it, and certainly DMs can learn from it and use it. Now you may have heard the word before, but it's sometimes quite difficult to quantify. So what I'm going to try and do in these next couple of minutes is try and explain and give some ideas about how you can use foreshadowing. Some simple tips you'll see used in films. A great example would be something like a woman getting up in the morning, putting her makeup on. She's doing her nails. It's red, a red polish that she's using for her nails. And just as she's finishing them off, the very last one that she does, she knocks the bottle over, and you see the bottle with the red polish dripping onto the floor into a little pool. It resembles blood, foreshadowing of something to come later that day. It's actually what happens later is, in this particular case, the woman is then later on involved in an accident where her boyfriend is killed. Tragic that it is, but that's foreshadowing, and you see and remember back, because you see the boyfriend crumpled over into one side of the car and a pool of blood massing outside the window, and it just immediately sparks back. It's like it was meant to be. Now you don't remember that polish when you actually see this scene, but later you do, and it's a technique that your players will admire you for, because what you do is you set it up, and then as you go into what's about to happen, they go, damn, I should have seen that coming. And that's the beauty of foreshadowing. Certain ways I've used it personally have been things like, I've done it in a very different way. So in one case I had, in one game I was running, when we did original 3rd edition Dungeons and Dragons, after a period of a couple of years, I began to have seen in the heavens a comet that was steadily but slowly approaching. So over several months I began to talk more details about what people could see, until eventually it passed very close to the planet and I was describing the trail. And as that happened, we then changed, the campaign changed into 3.5. So it was my way of foreshadowing the change to come, which the players liked and thought was quite witty and quite clever. But it's that sort of thing. You can use it in your games because you can do things with it so that you can set things up. So for example, you know, you're burying the body of your employer, you know, in a fantasy game, and just as you're about to put him into his coffin or whatever, you for a split second you can take that character to one side and say, you thought you saw the body twitch for 1 second, but how could that be? And then later on, of course, maybe the character attacked by undead. It doesn't have to be the employer, but the whole point is foreshadowing is a simple technique. If it's used well and not overly used, the key is to use it sparingly. There are many tools a DM has in his palette of colours, but in this particular case, this is one tool that you use occasionally, but when you do, it has a meaningful and powerful message, and that is the real gift of foreshadowing. The great directors do it well, the Spielbergs, the Lucases, they all do it exceptionally well. It's worth incorporating in your game. So to recap very quickly, foreshadowing is something which isn't necessarily the exact same thing that is to come, but looks like it, even if it's obscurely different. And you try to use that technique within your game, you will have some quite interesting results. Well, anyway, I've been Sean Connors. This has been DM's Tips. Until next time, happy gaming and take care.